After the events of Modern Sonic defeating the Egg Dragoon, Dr. Eggman got so very fed up with losing to Sonic that Eggman came up with a great idea that will help him get advantage or one up against Sonic. Curse that blue hedgehog! Always get in my way and ruin my plans that I never one bit to him. If there is some way that I can best him or get an advantage over him, someone that can work for me and do as I say, Dr. Eggman says. While in his frustrated, angered state, he then saw a blue quill that came from Sonic's quills on one of Sonic's quills on one of his damaged machine parts of his Egg Dragoon. He took a closer examination of after picking it up, an idea hatched in his head. I'll take both hedgehog quills from both modern Sonic and classic Sonic quills and form a clone version of their DNA that has their matching moves, skills, and powers. I will still allow that clone to have a personality of their own, though still, since it's gonna take a lot of altering DNA, but it will be worth it. Eggman then picks up modern Sonic's quill and kept it on him until he battles classic Sonic next and got his quill. After losing to classic Sonic with the Egg Dragoon as well for the third time, he did got extremely frustrated and mad, but he remembered to collect classic Sonic's quill as well too from the debris from his Egg Dragoon. After picking up classic Sonic's quill, Eggman heads straight for his lab to put classic Sonic's quill in a tube and put it in the empty DNA mixture slot right next to modern Sonic's quill. He then went to his computer to type in the starting procedure for the DNA to both transfer over to the creation tube that the DNA went over to in order to create a mysterious liquid figure in a tube that appeared along with the vital signs showing that the figure is breathing and alive. It's alive! It's alive! Eggman shouted in joy and laughter as the mysterious figure started to transform into a grown-up hedgehog that is 17 years old and close to adulthood. Eggman noticed and went to his computer to alter the DNA of the creature's personality to have one of their own, but made sure that the figure has the same powers, abilities, and moves as both Sonics. So many battles have I lost to those blasted hedgehogs over the years that I never won against them and their little friends, but not anymore. This time, me and my new apprentice will have the upper hand over them, defeat them, and become victorious in the end in order to build my brand new Eggman Empire. Ha 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 ha! As the mysterious figure shifted into a hedgehog, the Eggman waited a little bit and started to stabilize the figure in the tube and opened the second tube that's in front of the one from where the mysterious figure is in for the second one to fully close to the top. He then got some underwater robotic arms to gently hold the mysterious figure in place as water pours out and hits the second tube and into the drain pipe. As the main tube is fully drained and all the water from the main tube is gone, Dr. Eggman then opened the second tube that's blocking the water from the main tube going out while the robotic underwater arms are holding the creature when Eggman gave them the order to gently bring the mysterious figure down and let them go. Alright, let's get a good look at this magnificent crate. Dr. Eggman stopped dead in his tracks as he saw that the creature isn't a male version of both classic and modern Sonic the Hedgehog, but a female version that looks like them both, but with different features such as her eyes aren't the same look or shape as the Sonic's. He then heard his lab computer notification alarm beeping and went back to check the additional information. Computer. Name, Fantasy the Hedgehog. Age, 17 years old. Current time of creation, 3:35 p.m. Power and abilities, homing attack, spin dash, speed boost, stomp, super form, hyper form, dark form, and many more. Vitals at peak working level and the creature is alive. It's alive! It's alive! As Eggman shouted happily in laughter from the top of his lungs, a female figure began to start waking up and coming to life. She slowly blinked her eyes as she slowly began to ascend on her feet. While she was getting up, let me help you up, dear. Eggman noticed this and offered her a hand as Orbot told Eggman as he was offering to help her on her knees. Doctor, I don't think it's a good idea to help her up. We don't know if she's allied to us or a danger to us. Orbot stopped before finishing the sentence as he noticed that the female figure took Eggman's hand and slowly helped her up on her feet as she started to get a little wobbly until her legs stabilized themselves. While Eggman is helping up the female hedgehog, he knows that her eyes aren't the same as modern Sonic's color eyes, as her eyes are purple instead of green. This surprised Eggman as he started to think to himself, wait, why is her eyes purple and not green? Is it due to altering her DNA? Eggman said to himself. After Eggman talked to himself and thought, the female hedgehog began to speak as soon as her vision started to clear up fully and she can see clearly. Where am I? Who am I? Who are you all? The female hedgehog questioned as she sees Eggman and Orbot in the same room as her. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Eggman, and I'm the one who brought you to life into this world. Over here is one of my humble aid robots, Orbot. Eggman introducing Orbot to the female hedgehog as Orbot waves to her. Where you are now is in one of my many laboratories, and I'll show you around. Before we begin our tour, there are a few things that I need to tell you first. Eggman said as he stood up on his feet and stood tall over the height of the female hedgehog as she got to see how very tall the human is. That surprised her. Your name is Fantasy the Hedgehog. Your name is Fantasy. Fantasy the Hedgehog. I created you for sole purpose to serve me and help me triumph over my enemies from stopping me from building my empire. I will have you run and scavenge supplies for me and my robots for new upgrades, technology, and that we could use in the field. I'll also provide you with a room for you to live in and rest up in, and you can customize it to your heart's desire if you want. First things first, we need to get you some clothes since you're completely naked. Fantasy then looked down and saw that she was naked, and she decided to cover her private parts with her hands and went to the towel that was hanging on a rack nearby to cover herself up. She was very embarrassed from the lack of modesty that when she woke up. Orbot. No. Don't worry, miss. I'll go fetch some clothes for you to wear. Orbot went out of the lab into the corridor hall to the laundry room on the other side of the base to get the clothes that Dr. Eggman made for her to wear for outside the base for her missions and inside the base for her to change into something comfortable. 5 minutes later, when Orbot came back into the room with Fantasy's both sets of clothes to wear, Orbot gave Fantasy the set that she can wear around the base. Try these on, ma'am. They will suit you quite nicely. Orbot said as Fantasy took the casual clothes and went into the restroom that's in the middle of one side of the laboratory's wall. From the door that leads to main corridor to the left side. I'll leave these pair of clothes on this table for you, ma'am. Robot raised his voice as Fantasy is in the locked restroom, changing as Dr. Eggman went to the door to give her more information from outside the bath restroom. Those are for you to wear around the base for when you are off duty from finishing your mission or missions. The second set is for you to wear during your missions, which is a combat suit in case you ever run into trouble, my dear. Now, usually I have my new creations or robots creations go through training, but you don't have to since you have all the same moves, abilities, and powers as my arch enemy that can use on the field since you know all of them. I will keep the training courses open for you 24/7. If you ever want to train by yourself, my daughter, I'll also give you a tour of the whole base for you to be familiar with. And let's not forget, your mission starts tomorrow in an area called Peaceful Hills. Eggman said, as he and Orbot are walking out the door and from the laboratory into the corridor hall, with Fantasy falling behind. Once in the hall, Fantasy went one way to explore the base, while Eggman and Orbot went the other way to prepare Fantasy's mission for tomorrow and many more in order to conquer the world against the Sonic and his friends. The next day, Fantasy went off on her mission to destroy supply crates, scavenge supplies for the Eggman Empire, and knock down anyone that gets in her way. She did got into trouble along with being in sticky situations, but she still finds a way around her obstacles in her path in order to help her creator and dad build his army and empire. That's one half of the story, but I'm still creating the next part of it, so y'all have to be patient with me on this. So yeah, it's a long one, but to me, when I was like, like taking notes down the story, it was kind of hard because I feel like it's like starting to sound like a chapter book, but but that's part one. So I'll give you part two next part. So anyway. Guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications for our next upload. Don't forget to share social media. Find on social media to help my channel grow. Anyway, hope you all have a nice day or night, and I'll see you all in the next video. Stay kicking, everyone. Bye.